Hey fam, I got a download to do some messages for this Mercury retrograde. We've been in the pre-shadow of it for a little bit, and we are entering into the full retrograde from, I believe, April 1st until April 24th. So, just asking that anything that is open to receiving, utilizing the smoke for clearing, for movement, opening the space for the highest good of all beings, setting the intention that all messages that come through are clear and concise and easily received and digested by whoever needs to hear it. This reading is timeless. So if you come across it and it's not Mercury retrograde of April 2024, it's okay. There's definitely messages in here for you. I would encourage you to just tune in, just drop in and see what lands and resonates. For those of you who are like, yes, the time is now, what's going on? We're going to be pulling some oracle cards and some tarot cards on what you're going to be reassessing or sitting with or working with throughout this retrograde season. Mercury retrograde in particular has a lot to do with communications. So, and like ideas and belief systems. So it's important to understand slowness around this time. Retrogrades are usually our way of noticing like, okay, we've got to like look back, we have to reassess, we have to readjust, like things like that. So there's going to be 3 piles to choose from. And I'm going to pull those cards here in a second, and then I will give you some signifiers to pick which one. What are we working with for this eclipse season, this retrograde? Okay. And the first deck we're working with is the Archetypes, Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Krans. So, okay. Just take a moment to drop into your body. Maybe place a hand on the heart or on the belly or both, and take a few deep breaths. Just asking that you're really in your body, that you're tapped into your intuition, that you will know what to listen to, what's going to resonate the most for you right now. And I will give you guys the 3 piles. You can pick, you can watch all of them, you can watch 2 of them, you can watch 1 of them, whatever. The first, pile number 1, is this clear quartz flame. And pile number 2, oh, here we go. I believe this is lemon magnesite, or some kind of chrysoprase. It's like a really pale color. You can't really tell with that light. And then pile number 3 is specular hematite. This thing's pretty wicked. So go ahead and just drop and take a second, go down to the timestamps if you're ready to dive in, and we'll just get started. All right, so if you picked pile number 1, you got the clear quartz flame, you got the temple. All right, so what are we? Ooh, Virgo energy, potentially some Cancer energy, some things around the home, some things around the body. You're potentially reassessing, reimagining, re-understanding, taking more time with your habits, your space, your body, like what does your body need right now? things along these lines. So it's probably what you're going to be focusing on for the month of April. Let's figure out what page this is on. Page 141. No. Yeah. All right. The sanctuary, the shrine, the altar. When we think of the temple, we often envision an architectural structure in a far-off land. We're quick to distance ourselves from the sacred, assuming we must expend much effort in order to arrive there. Yet the temple is a universal and omnipresent energy, accessible in the highest and lowest, richest and poorest of places. Visiting the temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensually kissing a lover, or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine, there's our re-word, what you pay homage to and what you reject. Ooh. Let that kind of simmer. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. What do you spend your time worshiping? Your phone, money, material goods? Like, what do you give a lot of time and energy and attention to? What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps there is room on your altar for something new, something surprising. Offer it to the heavens. The ancient yogis saw the body itself as the temple, every function and feature of it as an expression of divinity. Build a shrine with found materials. Don't spend any money, only time. I think that's a great idea. I like doing altars for the seasons. Though indeed the temple travels with you, this card is interwoven with the pilgrim archetype. If you've been longing for a spiritual journey, book your tickets. So when this energy is light, there is reverence for all life and life as a sanctuary. And when this energy is dark, there's idolatry, cults, strict spirituality. Go deeper. Now is the time by Hafez. I don't know if that's a song or a book, but you can look into that if you want to. So, pile number 1. The other thing that's important to notice is that the clear quartz flame that you picked, or maybe you just picked because it's pile number 1, whatever, but the clear quartz flame is very symbolic of amplifying intentions, amplifying clearing, and amplifying fire energy, right? So what do you pay homage to? I just want to start diving in with the tarot and the fact that it's so clearly stated what you're re-examining. So this is a big season. There's a lot to work with if you choose to flow. Choosing more flow is going to be more helpful for you at this time. So something that you might idolize a little bit is like other people's problems. I'll explain further in a second, but like this is 10 of Wands in the traditional tarot, which is a very much so like, yo, you gotta we're at a crossroads. You gotta put it down. There's too much stuff. And I just like the message came through of like, you might literally just be like hyper focusing on other people's stuff and like literally carrying too much of other people's stuff. And so this season is going to invite you to really assess like, where do I self-abandon? Why do I carry so many other people's things? Is it because I'm scared of looking at my own shit, which is a very good possibility, but it's not a good reason to carry other people's stuff. Your personal power is really being activated. So and it's Aries season. So you could have Aries in your chart, but this is already a lot of fire energy. You have the fire suit and then you picked the flame. So I think it's very fitting. You might want to consider having a candle on your altar or, working with fire, maybe creating like sacred space, or something for fire. And working with the fire element more, but you also got the King of Wands. And in this deck, he's denoted as the companion. You're your first. You're the best person that you could possibly spend your time with. And if you don't feel that way about yourself, it's important to start exploring why. That might be why you potentially like obsess about everyone else's stuff and don't do enough things for yourself or focus enough on yourself. Because you're like scared of your own power, which you're going to need to make the decision this month to start to, pile one. You have to start making the conscious decision to choose yourself. Notice where you take on other people's expectations, other people's problems, other people's pain, and for some of you, it might be really deep. Some of you might have to like reach into your ancestral stuff or work on family stuff or work on inner child stuff, like this might be a very deep and delicate process for you this month. And some of you, and potentially most of you, are just carrying too much weight outside of yourselves, and you're not giving yourselves enough focus. So you're idolizing things that really don't matter too much in your life, like things that are actually like kind of potentially hindering you from your personal power. So you have to make conscious choices throughout the rest of this month, throughout this retrograde, as you're assessing and noticing and examining, like, where do I put all my energy? I just want to pull a couple more cards to... Can we just do one at a time, please? I want to pull a couple more cards too. I love that for y'all. Big Aries energy in here. So maybe this is like Aries season is just like a season for you, or maybe you have Aries in your chart. But we have Ace of Wands, so more fire energy, more like facing something head on, and birth of ideas and excitement and like things like that. And you got the Magician, you got Ravens. Your choices, when you choose yourself, helps to create your new beginnings, helps you to refocus on what is sacred. And this is highly amplified for you this month. The wind is literally fucking crazy right now. You won't be able to see it out here, but the tree right in front of my window is like, I'm like, are those branches gonna come off? But yeah, fuck. You guys, like, this is a very powerful month for you, and it's going to be very important for you to really focus your energy and make clear, grounded decisions. So even if you are really passionate and excited about all these things, it's important to take your time. Take your time. Do not rush. Don't feel like you have to rush. There's no need. Bottom of the deck is Six of Swords. We're saying goodbye to like old ways of thinking. So there's this shedding process that's happening. We're moving away from a certain mental process around this topic. And this is retrograde's the perfect time to do it. So yeah, take your time with all this stuff. And then we're going to pull an oracle card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. Just kind of close it out for pile one. We got number 27, receiving. So the 27th could be important for you. 2 and 7 is balance and divine guidance. 7, 8, 9 is ends of cycle, ending of cycles, closing out, being like really close to something. But the receiving, I'm getting a lot of yin feminine energy, so allowing yourself to receive a little bit more. This could be a big thing for you, especially when it comes to like, what do you potentially idolize? What do you potentially idolize, and how can you refocus to yourself and notice like what nourishment you're needing? You know what I mean? Like, what do you need to be more open to receiving? What are you calling in? What are you needing and changing and manifesting in your life? You got the Magician, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of manifestation energy here. These are pretty long. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You are so loved. Your every need is witnessed and responded to by the universe. However, you sometimes forget this. You become swept up in the momentum of habitual consciousness, and you forget to take a moment to stop, breathe, and be. In that moment, you can receive the love of the universe that is receiving you. It will nourish you with contentment and energy. Do you know how much joy the universe gains from being able to give to you? Yeah, so some of you might, and I definitely have dealt with this, but some of you might just put other people in front of yourself way too much, and you might have a tough time receiving. The more you practice giving to yourself, the easier it is for you to fully be open to receiving everything that the universe wants to pour onto you. I'm going to read the healing process for you guys. Say aloud, I release all false guilt and shame about having needs and all false beliefs about rest being wasteful or unnecessary. I accept healthy, productive, sacred rest and the gifts of happiness that it brings. I understand that rest and activity, balance, feed, and nourish each other. There is sacred healing that happens through rest, which is very powerful. I accept and receive this now. Through unconditional love, this is now so. When you are done, give yourself a hug and perhaps have a nap or a cup of tea, or do a little dance around your living room, or paint, relax, go for a walk in the park, or do a spot of window shopping. Just be, play, laugh, and relax. Give yourself what you feel you need at this time. If you aren't certain, that's fine, guess. And know that the more often you do this, the more skilled you will become in identifying and meeting your needs. I can attest to that. It's very true. That's beautiful, you guys. That's a lot of powerful stuff to be moving through this month in this retrograde. So like, just go easy on yourselves, and I'm sending you a lot of love. And yeah, take some time to ground into that. Do something to start to integrate those messages. Take some time to journal. I always recommend, like, if you can, take a moment to like digest whatever you just received and do something to help it land in your field and in your body a little bit more. So hydrate, go for a walk, write, say, maybe like go back and say that healing process out loud again to yourself, or maybe take a moment to like just curl up and like really hold yourself. If you want to book individual readings, I am open and available for that. I need to get in the habit of, I think I have the link below. Please double check. And if I don't, comment. But I think I have my booking links below in the box thingy. And I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much. If this video was helpful or supportive of you, please consider sharing it with someone. Definitely make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and please hit the like button. I'm learning all the algorithms for all the social media things, and I do believe that the whole subscription and like thing on YouTube really makes a difference. So please help these get to where they need to go. And this is free energy exchange, so I would deeply appreciate any type of support that you can show. So thank you so much. And we're going to go ahead and move on to pile number 2. So if you picked pile number 2, this is for you. You picked the lemon magnesite. This is just the most calming. I picked this up when I was working part-time at a crystal shop. I was like doing some stocking, and I picked this up and I couldn't let go of it. And I told the owner, I was like, you need to let me know how much this is. I need it. It's so soothing. Magnesite is a very calming, nourishing, body stabilizing stone. It's just really, it's just calm. It's like just ease. I love the energy that comes from that stone, and I love having it in a sphere shape because sphere shapes of crystals help to emanate the energy in all directions. You guys picked, the thread. That feels like something. Is that one of the tools? I think, well, we're going to find out eventually. Yeah, there it is. It is. It's the last of the tools. So it's on page 205. It's number 70. 7 is a significant number. It's like very divine guidance. Hey, here we go. Okay, the thread, the path, the vein, the circuit. I'm getting. Ooh. Some of you realize that you're stepping onto like a totally, this might not be totally new for you, but the realization of like, oh, I'm on my path now is like, holy shit. That was like a big emotional wave. So you guys could be, that's probably maybe why you were drawn to this stone, because it is really calming and it's really soothing, and this could be a really emotional time for you because it's a really big deal. What's that? Okay. It's a really big deal. You're on your path. Oof. All right, we're going to read this. Life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously, leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug, meaning is pumped through our bloodstream, our mind and spirits are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the thread. A song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. Okay, so part of what you guys are like re-examining or reassessing throughout this month of April with this retrograde is like, what am I doing? Why am I doing the things I'm doing? Why am I in the groups I'm in? Why am I in the relationship I'm in? Why am I in this, like, why do I live in this state? Why this house? You are literally potentially going to be reassessing everything. Which is why I might have gotten this massive emotional wave, because if you're like, I need to find the thread, I need to like reconnect, I need to get like pulled back to center because I've gone a little bit too far off course. That's okay, by the way. We all do it here and there. Pretty sure. I don't know if the Dalai Lama did, but like, keep my mouth shut. This is a call to like, get back on track. You might be reassessing everything. You may think you have to find the thread and pull it. Imagine, though, that it's already tied around you, waiting for you to follow it home. Recall a moment in your life when you felt fully alive. The thread is waiting for you amid the details of that memory. 10 out of 10 recommend taking a moment to drop in and ask yourself. I feel like anyone who's watching this is pretty fucking solid in their personal practices. Drop in and be like, give me access to the memory, to a memory that connects me with that thread. And then maybe like go to multiple memories and gain information from each memory. Drop in, meditate on the concept of the thread for you and see where it takes you, see what memory it brings you to, feel the details, feel the emotions, and be like, what was it? Like, I have full body chills. I'm remembering a memory where when I was doing a lot of street photography in Manhattan, and the thing that's popping up, like the thread in that's popping up, is like showing people who they are, showing people themselves and their world, and so it's not only something I do with photography, but what I do with all my work. That's kind of like my purpose. So that's my big thread, right? So when this energy is light, the circuit of meaning within chaos. When this energy is dark, it is binding and frustrating, and taught to go deeper, the sculptures of Eva Hesse. So Eva, E-V-A, Hesse, H-E-S-S-E. So look at her sculptures if you feel compelled to. Whoo! Yeah, calm within the storm, guys. Let's go ahead and dive in and get some more clarifiers for pile number 2 for this reassessment of potentially everything. Okay, thank you. So why do I do what I do? Why do I do what I do? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I following this path? Why am I investing in what I'm investing in? You're not trapped. Some of you feel really stuck. You have to redefine what success looks like for you. And you need to understand that just because you're still does not mean you're stuck. Okay? You've got to take a break. You've got to slow down. Okay? The magnesite, the reason that, this crystal might be really supportive for y'all right now is because it's like a physical emanation of what would actually help you, like, chill. And you don't have to get I think it's like lemon magnesite, or I think it's lemon. It's just this very, very pale green. Or it might be like lemon chrysoprase or something like that, but I'm pretty sure it's a magnesite. But you can find that in like a white form too, you know what I mean? I feel like working with that stone during this time will be really supportive, because you are potentially you're allowing yourself to be in the eye of the storm right now in order to connect to the center again, which is great. And it's a lot of work, and because you're in the middle of a storm, you can't really go anywhere right now. You know what I mean? You kind of have to just trust that, like, okay, like, ferns could also be important for you. I mean, shit. 1, a whole bunch, 4, there's an ancient wisdom within you. You just need to trust yourself more, and like trust in God, trust in the universe more, because you're so safe and you're so okay. So don't overthink. Give yourself more time to rest. There's like new joy on the horizon for you. You're gonna like rediscover what makes you feel alive and like what the purpose is. You're gonna start rediscovering that. And it's just important. It's important to like assess your goals. Really ask yourself, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Why am I investing in the things I'm investing in? You have the ability to do that in a non-emotional way. And it might be kind of tough during the season because it is in Aries, which is like, I have an Aries moon, so I get it. So it's important to kind of like let yourself ride out the feeling and don't make the decision or do the things in the feely state. Wait until you kind of moved through that and you can get back to a heart center, calm down a little bit, and then move from there. Not a lot's going to be getting propelled forward right now. This is a very internal time. You might have been drawn to pile number 1 too. So I would encourage you to listen to that if you feel called to. The more focused you can be on yourself right now and the less distractions you can have, the better. It's going to give you the opportunity, the stillness is going to give you the opportunity to gain all the clarity that you need. Okay. Bottom of the deck. Ace of Wands. You're going to have everything you need to move forward. You just need to take the time to like rest. Don't overthink. Just because you're still does not mean you're stuck. Take some time to tap into these memories, into this core, why you're here, why you're doing the things you're doing. Like, get to the root of that, you know? And we're going to pull one more card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck for you. Just keep a healthy boundary up. You're probably here doing some special work, pile number 2. You got number 14, so the 14th of April could be important to you. 1 and 4 is new beginnings and fresh foundations, new starts, stabilization. And then 1 and 4 is 5, so that is like change, challenge, transformation. Going beyond normal. I opened up to the page. I love when this happens. And it's on page 70. So a lot of divine guidance. Okay. We're going to read parts of this because this is long as shit. You're being asked to stay open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, as well as in your spiritual journey. The intuitive approach can be likened to the method of a gardener or an artist. There is a sense of what might work, where, and a loose or even a detailed plan, but how the plan is carried out will depend on and respond to the flow of its surroundings. There is no need to control the situation, but rather a desire to nurture an idea to fruition. You may have pressures around you, from the world or from your own conditioned nature, to do things according to the rules, to a deadline, or to the accepted mainstream view that you need a well-thought-out plan for success in a commercial venture. However, sometimes the best plan is to do what feels intuitively truthful in the moment and to trust that you are being led towards your own growth. Adopting this approach means you have to do far less planning and far more living. It is a pure and heart-centered way to manifest your art, your life path, and your essence into practical expression in the world. It involves a willingness to be led by nature instead of trying to control the powerful force of life, which is a bit like trying to fit a proverbial ocean in a teacup. It is far more intelligent to allow the ocean to be the ocean and to learn to swim in it rather than trying to cram it into a vessel that is much too small. All right, so the healing process. Say aloud, I now call on unconditional love and ask for the blessings of the heart to be witnessed and sanctioned by the great universal creator, so that I may rise above small-mindedness and use the best of what human culture has to offer in service to love. Through my own free will, so be it. Visualize or imagine the feeling of being in a most gorgeous garden. It might be well manicured, a little bit wild, or a wildly overgrown jungle. Just notice it. Notice how all the plants work together and how it is supported by nature and the seasons. Notice that whilst some things thrive, others fall away, only to shift again with the seasons. There is such organizational genius. Say, may the wisdom and guiding hand of the great gardener who works with unconditional love nurture the garden of my soul into magnificence. I dare to live creatively from my heart and thrive. Finish your healing process by sitting quietly, dancing wildly, or doing a spot of gardening, whatever feels good. Wow, pile number 2. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I'm really proud of you guys. I know this shit is like, it's a lot. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for those of you who are watching and receiving these. You're doing an amazing job. You're doing the work, and I feel like it's super important to know that you're doing a great job. To like have that reflection. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Thank you for being here. Please, if this was helpful for you, this is free energy exchange. I love doing this, and I love being supported. If you could subscribe, hit the thumbs up, share this with a friend, comment below on like what landed the most for you or what you're taking away from this, that would be amazing. And I'm excited to be back on this platform more. So thank you for receiving. Thank you for being open. Make sure you do something to ground what you received into your field and into your body. So you might want to go for a walk. You might want to journal a little bit, jot down some stuff that came up during the reading, pause, go back and re-listen to or say out loud that healing process. Whatever it needs to be for you. All right. So all of my booking links below if you want to work with me individually. And I'm sending you so much love. And we're going to go ahead and move into pile number 3. Woo, pile number 3. You picked the specular hematite. A lot of grounding energy. It's interesting how we like worked our way down. We went from like the crown energetic to the heart energetic, and now we're like in the root. In case you didn't realize, I didn't look at these cards before I pulled them. Y'all got the shaman. So my neon sign that will exist one day, the buckle up buttercups, would be flicking on right now. Oh boy. South direction, a lot about the physical body and the experience. A lot about clearing karma and shedding and releasing what's no longer serving you. Stuff's ending, and there is so much pristine, perfect beauty in these endings. The seeds of the beginning are within what you're going through, and so the shamans know how to like laugh at everything because there's goodness in everything. And we still have to go to the depths, right? And we still have to. That's why I have a death moth on my arm, because I love the concept of butterflies. Moths do the same thing, but they just feel so much more like transmutational, and they're more connected to the moon and like the depths of things, you know, so. Oop, did I pass it? All right, so the shaman is, hi buddy, hello. I'm almost done. On page 93. I have never pulled that. No, maybe I don't think so. All right, the Magi, the Sorcerer, the Medicine Woman. 3 archetypal ingredients constitute the shaman, and all must be present in order to reveal its magic. First, the shaman is activated by long-standing and diligent study, the mentor. Second, its orientation is generously and accurately aimed toward the healing of the self, the other, and the culture, the healer. And third, the shaman has a knack for finding doorways to the other world, allowing psychic visions and old magic to leak into this world, the unseen. In this way, the shaman is a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Yet where there is power, there is shadow, so the shaman must be vigilant in studying their darkness. This card reminds us that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. The shaman can't be rushed working with. The shaman can't be rushed, period. Working with this archetype requires study and perseverance. Think of it like brining or marinating. The content must permeate every fiber of its being. Contrary to popular belief, the shaman archetype appears in every vocation. Teachers, directors, surgeons, politicians, and poets are just a few of the faces a shaman may wear. When light, fearless student and practitioner. When dark, overpromises, blames, and hurts self and others. Go deeper, read Black Elk Speaks. I had that book, and it's a pretty dense read, but I do recommend looking into it and seeing if it speaks to you. And Michael Tucker's Dreaming with Eyes Open. I've been wanting to get that book for a while. I think it's just kind of expensive. What are we reassessing? Okay, it might just be, you guys just might be going through a deep dive with this retrograde. So we'll pull some tarot and get some specifics. But you have a lot of grief that you have to look at and move through and let go. That's why the hematite is probably here. So if you haven't worked with hematite, I highly recommend you do. It's very protective, it's very nurturing, it's very grounding, especially if you're moving through things like grief, especially if you're realizing you're in a space where the hard stuff's coming up and you have to face it. It's going to create balance and equilibrium in every area of your life. A lot of you are not fully acknowledging and facing the fears or the demons or the pains within you. And this retrograde is literally, oh my God. Got the Justice card. Look into Egyptian goddess Ma'at. Oh yeah? Well, Anazi just confirmed that. Hello. Hi, buddy. I know I'm almost done. And you also got 6 of Pentacles. A lot of connection, a lot of balance. Things literally balancing out the way they need to. You cannot have the balance in your life that you're seeking. You cannot experience like the joys and the happiness and the growth that you're like, oh, I'm so ready for, if you're not willing to like look at and spend time with your shit. The most beautiful thing about the process of the relationship ending that I'm going through is how I'm finally facing a lot of things that have been part of like how I operate for most of my life. And, you know, a lot of it's out of fear. And so I've been facing the deepest parts of my grief and fear lately. That is not easy. It's not easy. It's taken me years to be able to do that to the degree that I do. And I fully understand that almost nobody sees me in my deepest processes. So I'm sure that some of you are just like, well, it's easy for you to say whatever, right? But if you were like in the room while I was mourning the mother that I won't get to be with the partner I thought I was going to be with, it's like that shit's big and painful and hard. And I have to face that. And I have to grieve with her. And I have to mourn that loss. And then there's more layers. And then there's more parts and pieces. And one of my friends told me recently, they said you have to face every single part that's affected by this so that eventually they run out of masks to wear. Because your fear and your pain and your ego will try to dictate your direction by utilizing all of the shadow stuff, by utilizing everything that's not love. Because love is like a straight shot. Love's pretty easy and simple. And you guys are potentially going to be facing some really deep things this month. And if you do, you're going to clear the way. I'm feeling so light. Like, I feel like you're going to clear yourself of a lot of stuff that you're ready to shed and let go of. I have full body tingles. I feel like if you ask for the support you need, resource the fuck out of yourself, and have the courage to go deep, you're going to make so much space. You're going to get rid of so much shit that's not even yours, that's not serving you anymore, that you just don't, yes. Yes! Yes! Put in the work this month, y'all. Put in the work this month. I'm getting like Scorpio and Taurus energy, so you could have that in your chart. You have Page of Swords. Yeah, be like curious. Be open and excited. I know that it feels kind of heavy and kind of dense, because it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. And when you can come at it with like kind of, as much as you can, a playful attitude of like, all right, boss, let's go. You know what I mean? Like we are packing up. We're going on an adventure. We're going into the depths. We are permeating all the bits and the pieces. Like, shit's gonna get real and it's gonna be so good. Yeah. Oh, God, guys. It's gonna feel hard. It's going to feel challenging. I'm going to deeply encourage any of you guys who resonate with me and who know that I do a lot of different types of work. And even if you don't know me and you're like, this is fucking landing, I need help, I'd like someone give me some fucking direction or guidance, whatever. I do subconscious consultation. I do one-on-one energy work. I do one-on-one tarot readings and Akashic record readings. The subconscious consulting is basically like coaching to understand your subconscious so that we can get to know like why you're operating the way you have been and work on clearing that out and replacing it with new energetics. I'm happy to work with you guys. This is why I'm here. This is why I do so many things, because I love being able to offer and provide in a lot of different ways. So please reach out if you're feeling like you need some support. And even if you just want to message me or email me and just be like, hey, like, this is what's up. Can you like give me like any sort of direction, even if it's not any of my services? And you type out something, I'm like, yeah, like try this breath work or whatever. Like, I would love to give you a recommendation. I feel you. I feel the depth of where you're needing to go. And I am here on the other side to tell you that like, it's safe. Like, your fear is safe. The things that you think are going to ruin you and end you won't. if you fully resource yourself and are logical and play it smart, and by the way, these are for entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor or a psychologist or any of those things. Yeah, there's just some pain. There's some pain y'all gotta go through, okay? Gotta clear it out. Let's go ahead and pull a oracle card to sum that up for you guys. I'm gonna be reassessing some deep shit. Thank you. You can't make this shit up. Number 31, trust yourself. 3 and 1. 3 is co-collaborative, co-creative energy. 1 is a fresh start, a new beginning. 3 and 1 is 4. It's a stable foundation. It is growth. You're safe to do this work, fam. You're so safe to do this work. You are wise. You know how to grow, even without knowing how you know. Like the ancient forest, spectacular galaxies, and the acorn that becomes the oak, there is a natural intelligence for growth that is beyond logic and reason. It just happens. At the deepest levels, we are governed by this force that is so palpable it literally shapes the world. At the same time, it is so invisible that sometimes we forget its presence and worry that our minds have to work everything out for life to happen and for us to be all right. We can become unnecessarily anxious about our affairs and how life will unfold. This oracle brings the message that you are growing, you really are. Don't doubt it. Even if you don't see it yet, remember that so much is happening when the seed is still unbroken in the ground. Below the earth, it is summoning up all the might, power, and force it needs to push above the topsoil and burst up into the light. It is essential for anything good to happen later on. Yet we don't see any of that. We just have to trust that things will happen when the time is right. This oracle comes with a particular guidance. You have a big destiny this lifetime and much to experience. Sometimes you make the error of judging something that is unpleasant as negative or a mistake. It's just part of your great hunger for experience. It doesn't mean you have to have a lot of it, but when you do, don't shame yourself for it. Simply let it be. Maybe it's just fertilizer for your next step on the path. It's all part of your life process, and it's all a sign of growth. Don't resist any points of instability in your life. All right, so here's the healing process. Close your eyes and relax for a moment. Breathe in and out. Let your awareness drift away from worries and day-to-day matters and settle instead on the feeling of warmth inside your body. Then slowly imagine, sense, feel, or perceive that you have an acorn in your hand. You are standing in nature as sunrise breaks, flooding the horizon with color and light. As you hold the acorn up to the light of the rising sun, something magical happens. Out of the acorn, a hologram shines forth. It is a blueprint of this entire being that is yet to be. You see an acorn in that hologram, but you also see a marvelous oak tree. You see the wildlife that will support and be supported by that tree, the ecosystem of which it is a part. You see yourself holding the acorn up to the rising sun. You see seasons demarcated as rings of time within the trunk of the tree. You see the passing lives of many people that enjoy the oak tree through its long life. Place the acorn down on the ground as the sun continues to rise. Imagine, if you will, kneeling and touching your forehead lightly to the earth in reverence for the genius of growth. That same genius lives within you. In your own time, open your eyes and go about your day. You have completed your healing process. I have big time chills, y'all. You're definitely doing something big with your life and in the world, and I thank you for that. I support you, and I see you, and I feel you, and I'm here for you. So if you could please subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below on what resonated the most for you, what you're taking away from this reading, and do something to help this ground into your system. So maybe doing some breathing, placing a hand on the body, going for a walk, doing some journaling. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. As if you know what I'm pointing to. It's my glass of water. Yeah, I'm really proud of you guys. I'm really proud of you guys. And you're going to be amazing. I feel like there are no words for like the magic that you're going to experience on the other side of just like facing your shit, you know? And I know I say that lightly, but I don't take it lightly. I do understand. So thank you for being warriors of light, and I'm sending you so much love. I'm here for y'all. Many, 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 many blessings returning tenfold to all of you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for receiving, and I will chat with you all soon.